When it comes to smartphone gimbals, they usually fall into two categories. You either get something very basic that just smooths out shaky footage, or you jump straight to premium models that cost a lot and still assume you're filming with someone behind the camera. The Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra tries to live right in the middle, and after spending time with it, it's clear that this gimbal is designed for creators who shoot alone but still want their videos to look intentional, controlled, and professional. Right from the start, the V3 Ultra feels like more than just a stabilizer. Hohem positions it as an all-in-one creation tool, and that idea becomes obvious as soon as you power it on. Yes, it's a 3-axis gimbal that keeps your phone steady while walking or moving, but that's really just the foundation. The real story here is automation, smart tracking, and remote control, all packed into a device that still fits in a backpack. In terms of design, the iSteady V3 Ultra strikes a nice balance between compact and capable. It folds down neatly, making it easy to carry for travel or daily shooting, yet it feels sturdy in the hand once unfolded. The grip is comfortable for longer recording sessions, and the controls are laid out in a way that feels intuitive, even if you're new to Hohem gimbals. While some competitors use magnetic phone clamps, Hohem sticks to a more traditional clamp design here. It takes an extra second to mount your phone, but the payoff is a very secure hold, even when you're moving quickly or rotating the gimbal aggressively. One of the standout physical features is the built-in extension rod. With a simple pull, the gimbal turns into a mini selfie stick, giving you extra reach for wider framing, overhead shots, or group videos. This may sound like a small addition, but it opens up a lot of creative flexibility without forcing you to carry extra accessories. Combined with the integrated tripod legs at the bottom, the V3 Ultra is just as comfortable on a desk or the ground as it is in your hand. Of course, the feature that really defines this gimbal is AI tracking. Hohem doesn't rely purely on your phone's camera or app-based tracking. Instead, the V3 Ultra uses a dedicated AI tracking module that visually identifies and follows subjects on its own. This means it can track people, pets, and even moving objects, and it does so regardless of which camera app you're using. Whether you're filming with your phone's native camera, recording a TikTok, hopping on a Zoom call, or streaming to Instagram, the tracking continues to work seamlessly. In practice, this feels almost like cheating. You can set the gimbal on a table, walk into frame, and immediately become the focus of the shot without touching your phone. As you move left or right, step closer or farther away, or even spin around, the gimbal smoothly pans to keep you centered. The tracking is responsive without being jittery, and it does a great job of maintaining natural motion instead of snapping abruptly from one position to another. What truly elevates this experience is the detachable touchscreen remote. This is one of those features that sounds nice on paper, but feels genuinely transformative once you use it. The remote pops off the gimbal and gives you a live preview feed from the tracking camera. From several meters away, you can see exactly how you're framed, start or stop recording, adjust tracking behavior, and switch between portrait and landscape orientation. For solo creators, this completely changes how you shoot. Instead of guessing whether you're in frame or running back and forth to check your phone, you have real-time feedback in your hand. The touchscreen itself is bright, responsive, and easy to navigate. It doesn't feel like a gimmick or an afterthought. Instead, it feels like Hohem intentionally designed this gimbal around the idea of remote operation. For creators who film themselves, whether it's talking head videos, fitness content, tutorials, or travel vlogs, this remote alone can justify the V3 Ultra over more basic stabilizers. Stabilization performance is another area where the V3 Ultra delivers confidently. Powered by Hohem's iSteady 9.0 stabilization system, the gimbal handles walking shots, gentle running, and directional changes very well. Footage looks smooth without feeling overly artificial, which is something cheaper gimbals often struggle with. The motors respond quickly, and the balance remains stable even when using larger smartphones. One particularly impressive aspect is the unlimited 360-degree pan rotation. This means the gimbal doesn't hit a mechanical stop when rotating, allowing for continuous movement around a subject. In creative shots, this opens the door to smooth circular motions and dynamic transitions that look far more cinematic than what most phone gimbals can manage. Hohem also includes a built-in fill light, which adds another layer of usefulness to the V3 Ultra. The light isn't meant to replace a full lighting setup, but it's extremely helpful for evening out shadows on your face or adding a touch of illumination in dim environments. You can switch between warm, neutral, and cool tones and adjust brightness directly from the remote, which again reinforces how creator-friendly this setup is. It's the kind of feature that you may not think you need until you use it, and then it becomes hard to give up. Battery life is solid and realistic for how feature-packed this gimbal is. Under lighter use, you can expect close to 9 hours of casual shooting, while heavy use with constant AI tracking and lighting will still get you approximately 4 hours of recording. Charging is handled via USB-C, and the gimbal recharges quickly enough that it won't slow down your workflow. The remote has its own battery as well, which lasts long enough for multiple recording sessions before needing to be docked back into the gimbal. In real-world use, the V3 Ultra feels designed around reducing friction. You spend less time adjusting settings and more time focusing on content. The gesture controls, while not perfect in every lighting condition, work well enough to feel useful. Simple hand gestures let you start tracking or trigger recording, which is especially helpful when you're standing away from the camera and want to stay in the flow. There are a couple of limitations worth mentioning, though they don't overshadow the overall experience. The motors can produce a faint noise, which may be picked up by your phone's internal microphone in very quiet environments. Using an external mic easily solves this, but it's something to be aware of. Additionally, while the gimbal is packed with features, it may feel like overkill if all you want is basic stabilization for casual clips. From a value perspective, the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra sits in a very interesting position. It undercuts some premium competitors while offering features they simply don't include, especially when it comes to app-free AI tracking and the detachable touchscreen remote. For the price, it feels less like a compromise and more like a deliberate alternative aimed at independent creators. By the end of our time with it, the V3 Ultra feels less like a phone accessory and more like a creative partner. It takes care of framing, smooths out movement, and gives you control even when you're not behind the camera. For vloggers, solo YouTubers, educators, and anyone building content around themselves, this gimbal makes the entire shooting process easier and more enjoyable. So, if you're looking to upgrade your smartphone video setup and want something that goes beyond basic stabilization, the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra is a compelling option. It's smart, flexible, and clearly designed with modern content creators in mind. While it may not be the simplest gimbal on the market, it's one of the most empowering, and for many creators, that makes all the difference.